Hello, and welcome to Art with Carrie Ann. My name is Carrie Ann Kirking, and I teach art at Genesee Lake School. I've been thinking a lot about the fires in the Amazon rainforest, so I thought today I would bring to you an Amazon rainforest inspired piece of art. In my example, I'm going to draw a parrot, and we'll use pastels to color it in and add lots of color. So come with me, and I'll show you all the steps. In my directions today, I'm going to show you step by step how to create a parrot piece of artwork. You can definitely use the same steps to create other types of animals. Feel free to use your creativity to create your rainforest-inspired masterpiece. To begin this project, you will need to collect the following supplies. A dark piece of background paper. I am using black construction paper, but any dark color paper will also work. You may also want to have a white colored pencil. This is optional. I will be drawing with a white colored pencil in my directions because it will be easier for you to see. You will also need a pencil, an eraser, and a bottle of glue. For this project, we will need to take a break and let the glue dry. After the glue is dry, you will need some chalk or pastels. To begin making my parrot, I'm going to go ahead and start by finding the position for my beak. This is going to be in kind of the top left quadrant of my paper. So I'm going to start out creating the curvature of my beak. Knowing that my beak is going to be in two sections, I'm going to do the top section first, and then I'll go ahead and add the bottom lip of his beak. The beak is going to be closed off, so I have the two back lines connected, and I'll go ahead and start creating the top of my bird's head. The head is started out with a rainbow line, and I'm going to go ahead and create the opposite side of the head underneath the beak, knowing that my bird is three-dimensional. Now I'm ready to start the body. My bird's going to have wings, so I'm going to do kind of a curved line to create the edge of his wing, and I'll curve it up to the middle of his body. Now I'm going to do the same on the opposite side. This wing is a little bit farther away, so my wing is not as big as the other one. So now I have my two wings, and I'm going to go ahead and add the belly of the bird, and then the bottom where his legs are. I'm going to create his legs in two different steps. The first step kind of looks like little nubs. This is going to be the part of his leg that is actually part feathers. Now I'm going to go back in and add the rest of his leg. So I have the smaller bony section, and I'm going to add little claws on the bottom here. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite side, the little bony section, and then the bottom part where his foot or his claws are at. Once his body is made, I can go in and add some more details. Now for our next step, we're going to be using glue, so I don't want to be adding a lot of really fine details. I'm going to focus on doing bigger lines to create my details. So here I've added the bird's eye, and now I want to create a different textural section for his belly. So I'm going to kind of draw where I would like this to go, creating where the chest and belly meet with a curved line. Now, I know that I want his belly to have feathers, so I'm going to go ahead and add some squiggly lines. I don't want to go into detail creating individual feathers because when I add the glue, that's going to be very hard to add. Now, the last thing I'm going to add are a couple lines to create a feather look on his wings. Notice I'm just doing very simple lines. I'm not adding a lot because that will be very difficult when we add the glue. Now that my bird is drawn out in pencil, I'm ready to use the glue. I'm going to go ahead and trace each line with a thin layer of glue, making sure I'm not pushing too much glue out because that may pool or drip when the glue starts to dry. I'm taking my time on this because it can be quite difficult tracing over the lines exactly. Now, when I'm doing this, I want to think about how the glue is going on my lines. If you created sections with a lot of detail, you may want to avoid covering those with glue because the glue may combine together to create blobs or spots that we won't be able to color on when we start the coloring step. So I'm going to go ahead here and just finish off tracing all of my lines with the glue. Using the glue in this way is giving us a physical texture to our paper. It's going to be a lot of fun once it's dry and we can go in and add our colors to it. Now that I'm just about done with the glue, I'm ready to let it dry. I'm going to wait several hours until my glue is completely dry. Now, once it's dry, you're going to have a physical texture where you can feel your lines and it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to go in and use my pastels. I can use them on their side or tipped up like a pencil, and I add my color onto my paper. I can use my finger as a drawing tool by smudging my pastel and moving it around my paper. Another technique you can do is overlap your colors a little bit so that way you can mix them with your finger, just like we did when we were smudging a moment ago. I'm going to smudge my pink into my green and make my colors blend a little bit. Now I'll go ahead and add color throughout my bird, making it very colorful and beautiful because rainforest animals have a lot of color to them. I'm going to go ahead and let the video run while I finish filling in my bird with lots of color. Note how I hold my pastel. Am I holding it on its side when I'm making a mark or on its tip? You can do both ways. Also, pay attention to the way I'm blending the colors, what colors I'm using, and think about the ideas you have for your project. Remember, the fun thing about art is that you can really be creative with it, and you don't have to follow things exactly the way I do them. Once my bird is finished, I can go ahead and start adding the background. For my background, I'm thinking about the rainforest and how green it is, so I'm adding a lot of greens or colors that will mix well with greens. Thank you so much for making your Amazon-inspired artwork with me today. I hope that you had a lot of fun, and if you did, you should think about hanging your art up so that way everybody can see all of your hard work. Thank you. See you next time. Bye.